I don't know how many monkeys you are, but one of 1,000 monkeys. Here we are monkeying around again. Here with the monkeys, and we're just monkeying around. Yes, I used to watch that back in Ireland back in the 60s. In the 60s, the Americans didn't know where Ireland was. So Britain had to wait for about 3 years to get the monkeys. And we had the monkeys for 3 years. We had all the American series because they didn't think that was near England. There you go. There you go. I've got a new book out. It's called Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. No slide title like before, like, you know, being dragged across the carpet by the cat. You have to read the poem to find out how is that possible to be dragged across the carpet by the cat. This is just celebrating a lovely woman, and she gets the title poem and she gets the title of the book, Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. I shall start with this, the California Quarterly, because I've just got published in it. It was during the time when my dad was dying, so I paid no attention to it. I said I had no time to submit, and somebody submitted for me, and I ended up this weekend with a poem that I didn't even know was going to be. So thank you, John. Thank you. This poem is called This. Your kiss takes me beyond myself. Your touch creates and uncreates me, makes me the river that flows through you. We, a landscape that could never be otherwise. A sunset on a bird's wing. A time when there is no more time. An horizon of the mind. Your kiss, this endless. Sorry, did I say the last line?
You have a job to do.
Your kiss is endless. This. You saw how endless that was. If she hadn't hit me and leave me in the goodies, I'd still be there.
Dónall, in Mexico they call that counting your money in front of the pork.
Right, I read the beginning poem and the end poem of this. This is called Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. When I was very young, God help me, I had no idea of the facts of life. I still have no idea of the facts of life. Janice is still filling me in and all of that. And I thought that a chap could have 3 mammies because I thought the definition of a mammy was somebody who loved you to that nth degree. I had 3 people who did that. My own lovely mother, Dónall Dempsey, Lizzie Sweeney up the road, and my Auntie Mary down in Cork. So this is in praise of Lizzie Sweeney. Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. Mrs. Sweeney was Gerry Sweeney's mammy. And even though I had my own, I had her on loan. It was like having a spare mammy. And even when she was mad with us, she just couldn't be mad with us. Go on, she grinned, go on. You'd wear the heart out of a stone. And if you fell and you were crying, heart and knee badly grazed, or badly bitten by a bee, she would hug you up with all herself. Ah, come here to me, you poor little dote. Wrap you up in so much love it would last for years, for years. Gerry Sweeney was my best friend ever, in the way back then. Still is, nothing's changed, except that us young fellas have become old fellas, who still think they're young fellas. And every time I see him, I could almost cry. I can still see his mammy smiling out of his eyes. Thank you. I was teaching in year 6, and their grasp of history was very small. I said, what were you doing the last time? And they said, sir, the spinach armada. I go, right, the spinach armada, okay. Well, what were you doing before that? Sir. There's always one guy, all the rest they were not telling them anything. There's one little guy, sir, I'm of cleavage. And I thought, right, okay. They didn't know who Churchill was, they didn't know who anybody was. So I went on to year 8, and year 8 were just battling together. So year 8, when you're a teacher coming into a class, they do everything to disrupt you. And you just have to rock and roll with it. And there's a very storm-tossed class, and they all decided to be pirates, and to talk in a pirate voice. So that's why I'm talking in a pirate voice, because I just rock and roll with them, and I went, oh, yes, now the square on the hypotenuse. I was just coming up to my 60th birthday. I'm now a year past that. So this is how I celebrated my 60th birthday. And somebody was reading, it was quiet reading, although it wasn't quiet, and somebody was reading A.A. Milne's Now We Are 60. Or Now We Are 6, rather. So that's where the title comes from. Now we are 60. A year 8 child inquires how old I be. I be just 60. He gasps, my God, you're very active for 60. 60 for him is a distant planet in a galaxy far, far from here. Yea, another dimension. I smile my 60-year-old smile perfected by now. I am starlight that will only reach him when he is 60 himself, if he ever remembers what he has long ago forgotten. There is a poem in the book called Mr. Fogg Can Only Laugh. And I was doing the world along with my 3-year-old daughter. She was my guru and she was my mentor. And she was shown, and she was just grasping language and she was just grasping the world. So she was absolute thrill and a delight to observe and to watch and to be with her. So she taught me how to look at the world. And to me, a fog is just a fog. But to her, it was the first fog she'd ever seen. So she came in and she said, there's a cloud and it's fallen asleep in a field. And I thought, why didn't I think of that? And it was a time when I didn't write poetry, so I should have been writing all these things down. So sometimes some of them come back to me. And this is about the first puddle she ever seen. And you know, it's like a little alien, and she'd never seen a puddle before as such. Or that she paid attention to. So this is called Crawling Out and Falling Up. It's for Linda Cleat over in America. Her first puddle. There's rain lying dead in a hole. She's only ever seen rain fall, not trapped in a pothole. Why doesn't it crawl out and fall up? Indeed, I see it happen in thought, but not in deed. I have to admit I never thought of it like that. Now she's all grown up and doesn't even remember it. We meet a modern day puddle, and she's puzzled when I say, why doesn't it crawl out and fall up? Oh, da, she sighs. How do you ever think of such things? As a care worker, I used to look after many, many people, and I didn't write poetry at the time either, but all the voices went into me, and by the process of osmosis, I soaked them up, and about 40, 50 years later, they all come out. So this is some poor guy I used to talk to, and he used to tell me about his gramps back in his World War I days and his days in World War II, and it was horrible. So this is called Chocolate and Remembrance. I killed men because I wanted to come back to you so that I could be your husband still. My enemy too had someone who he wanted to come back to. I took his life so that I could go on with mine. I had survived the war because I needed to and because of luck. Good luck or bad, it's hard to tell now. I see my wife and see not her, but a woman strewn like so much rubbish in a French village we slogged through. She was naked and had no eyes, where her smile should be nothing but an empty hole. I go to hold my little girl, can only see a girl of 3, still, burning still, her doll untouched. An old man, not a man, just a piece of man, a head, a trousered leg. I kill so that I could still be me, but I'm not. I can never be me again. There is an audible line drawn in the sky between me and the me I used to be. The war rages on inside me, and all the dead come up to me, begging for chocolate and remembrance, chocolate and vengeance. Thank you.